How's it going today, folks? This is Landon with Backcountry Athlete here. I got a fun video for you today. We're going to go through my gear, clothing, and setup that I like to use for an early season whitetail hunt here in Texas. So let's start with clothing. Now, this is subject to change whether I'm in a deer blind, I'm on the ground, or if I'm in a tree stand. If I'm hunting out of a tree stand, I like to use the Sitka subalpine pattern. Because there's going to be more leaves on the trees behind me that I can kind of blend into, I like to use something that has more green in the pattern itself. So it's going to be hot, like I said, so I like to use the Sitka Core lightweight hoodie. It's super lightweight, super thin, and breathes really well. This is going to keep me cool when it's 95 plus outside. I pair that lightweight hoodie with the Apex pant, also in the subalpine pattern. Now, I don't believe Sitka still makes this pant, but I think the Ascent pant is kind of what took its place. Still, super lightweight, super comfy, and it's very quiet when it moves, so I can kind of get away with a little bit more movement and don't have a lot of sound. Now, if I'm on the ground hunting in Texas, I like to use the Kuiu Hilo t-shirt. Now, this is just a really lightweight t-shirt, super breathable. It's almost like a athletic wear shirt, but it's great when it's super hot outside. And I pair that with the Tiburon pant that's also super lightweight, very quiet, so I can move around a little bit more and still get away with some movement, not make a lot of sound. And these are both in the Velo pattern. Now, if I'm in a deer blind, early season, it's kind of like an oven, so I try to avoid it, but if I have to be in a deer blind, I'll usually just wear something all black, probably what I'm wearing now, or just a long sleeve black t-shirt. And I usually like to paint my face just with black to blend into that background just a little bit more. Now that clothing's out of the way, let's dive into the gear. So first things first, the bow I'm shooting this year is the Mathews Lift 29.5. I absolutely have no bad things to say about this bow. It's lightweight, it's fast. This is a smaller axle-to-axle package, so when I'm in a tree stand or if I'm in a ground blind, I can get away with a little bit more, up and down. Don't have to worry about hitting my limbs or cams on anything around me. I have that paired up with the UltraView slider sight. I've been running this now for probably 6 months and absolutely love it. No bad things to say about the sight. It's been great so far. Now let's dive into the arrows. The arrow I'm using this year is still the same one I used last year and maybe the year before. It's the VAT TKO in a 4mm. Love this arrow. Super strong, lightweight. I'm running a 50 grain outsert on the end of it with just a 100 grain point. And I have the AAE Max 4-fletch fletchings on it. Absolutely love it. I like to play around with arrows and tinker with my equipment, and I keep going back to this arrow. Arrow's out of the way, what's on the end of it? I'm running the Sever 1.75. I've taken a few animals with this broadhead, phenomenal blood trails. I have gotten pass-throughs on every single animal that I've shot with it, which has been, I think, 2 deer and 2 pigs so far. So not big animals like an elk or a moose or anything, but for what I'm after right now, this broadhead has been exceptional. So what's on my chest? I'm running the marsupial bino harness. Absolutely love this harness. Can't say anything bad about it. What I have in there is just some Vortex 10x50s. I don't need anything giant when I'm hunting out of a stand most of the time, so I'm not running 12 power or anything above that. So these 10x50s work great for what I need them. The left side here, I have just a cheap wind checker. Always gotta be checking the wind, especially when you're hunting whitetails. I keep just a little pocket knife in this front compartment. This has 10 million uses. You can always use a little pocket knife. On this right side in the rangefinder pouch, I am running the Leupold Full Draw 5. This rangefinder I've had for about a year now, a year and a half probably, and no problems with it so far. Love the rangefinder. Love that I can put in my drop, essentially, my archer's advantage into this rangefinder, and it kind of shows me my arc of my arrow. So if I'm shooting through some really heavy brush, I can kind of see the absolute or the max point of where my arrow is going to be. That way I'm not going to shoot right into a limb or something that might be overhanging in my shot. I carry 2 releases on me. Now I kind of go back and forth on what release I'm using that day. It just kind of all depends on what I'm feeling. I have the Stan Onyx clicker release. It's a thumb button that actually clicks. You probably can hear it. Click, then it fires. Love this release. And I also have the UltraView Hinge 2 release. Now yes, I hunt with a hinge release. I'm comfortable with it. I know my equipment, I've shot thousands of arrows with it, so I am comfortable taking it into a hunting scenario with me. But like I said, it kind of depends on the day, what I'm feeling. I'll bring both of them with me. Now for the pack. I'm running the Sitka Fanatic pack. Love this pack because, and besides the stuff jiggling inside of it, It's very quiet, it's a soft material, it ain't gonna rub on anything and make a screeching sound or anything that a deer might hear. In this top compartment, kind of the get to quick items, will be the Outdoor Edge, just razor blade knife. I have the knife in here, plus a whole bunch of extra blades. Can never have too many blades. Like I said, here's a Havalon with extra blades as well. I just have a cheap black diamond headlamp. You know, you're walking to your stand early in the morning, you need a headlamp. It's a lot easier than trying to have a handheld or use your phone light. So headlamps are essential and a must. An Allen wrench. You know, if you're bow hunting, there's always stuff that can get loose, especially if you're driving in or walking in. You know, a bolt could rattle a little bit loose. You can always cinch it back up if you have an Allen wrench with you. If you're like me, early season, the weeds are tall, I get allergies. Now, instead of bringing paper towels or anything that I keep wiping my nose with, I just carry a hanky. Kind of fits right there in my pocket, can wipe my nose really easy and quiet, and I don't have a whole bunch of trash left over, a whole bunch of tissues hanging out everywhere. All right, now let's dive into what's actually inside the middle of it. First thing I have in here is a bright blood tracking light. This one I bought at Cabela's. It's not a tight beam, it's a wide cast light, which is great for when you have to, you know, look on the ground and everything, you're trying to find blood, or just sometimes it could be pin drops, but this is great. After that, I have an actual normal light. This one can go into I can twist it down, it does a really tight beam, or I can broadcast it back out. This is just a cheap light that I bought at Cabela's. Dude wipes. There's a million uses for these. Sometimes when you're out in the woods, nature calls. These are awesome, but also when you're cleaning an animal, you can wipe the blood off your hands or just clean up. Gotta have some dude wipes in your pack. Next is a first aid kit. If you're gonna be hunting out in the woods, you gotta have some kind of first aid kit on you. This is just a cheap one, I'm pretty sure I bought on Amazon. It has everything in here that I need if something was to go wrong. This is definitely one of those items in my pack that I keep that I hope to never have to use, but it is essential. Next on the list is a kill kit. I love when this comes out because that means you're successful. I have a whole video on my YouTube channel already of what goes into my kill kit. So if you want to check that out, you can see what goes into it. Spare headlamp. Just a spare big outdoor knife. Not a skinning knife, but you know, a million uses for a big heavy duty knife. Next item is essentials pouch. I have, let's open it up and see what we got in here. I have all weatherproof matches. I have extra batteries for any of my headlamps or anything I might need. Another fire starter, a big carabiner if I'm up in a tree stand and forget one or one breaks on me. Have an extra one. And then one item I don't have in here that is essential, especially for early season, especially in Texas, is a thermocell. So I have the extra thermocell patches with me and extra butane that it comes with. Thermocell is actually in my truck, so I was using it the other day. But that will usually stay in my pack, or I make sure that I have it before I head out into the field. Because there's nothing worse when you're trying to have minimal movement and be quiet, and you're constantly slapping your face because mosquitoes do not want to leave you alone. That was the last item in the pack. That's what I like to carry on an early season hunt for whitetail in Texas. If you have any suggestions that maybe you keep in your pack, that'd be a good idea that I probably need to throw in mine, drop them down below in the comments and let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Leave all your questions and comments down below. And if you're like me, cannot wait for the season to start. Have a good one.